Kashim Shettima has visited President Tinubu's office on Monday to brief him on the country's state of affairs during his 2-week working vacation. In the absence of President Tinubu, the Vice President met with ministers and sector leaders and attended stakeholder events focused on economic development. He was initially scheduled to lead Nigeria's delegation to the 2024 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Apia, Samoa. However, his trip was cancelled after a foreign object damaged the presidential jet's cockpit windscreen during a New York stopover at JFK Airport. The Vice President had visited Sweden for a 2-day working trip to enhance trade and bilateral relations. He discussed investments with stakeholders and highlighted opportunities under the Tinubu administration for foreign investors in Nigeria. And two other stories we're tracking this hour as we continue to update, especially preceding reports on the issue of celebrating a nation builder and advocate, a 7th overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church, Pastor Tunde Bakare, will be 70 years old on 11th November this year. The birthday will be celebrated with a week-long activities, including Thanksgiving service, book launch, installation of power project in his alma mater, Unilag, and other events. According to a press statement by the planning committee, the preacher and nation builder has been one of the nation's most highly influential and respected spiritual leaders, a fiery and passionate preacher of righteousness, and a courageous advocate for justice. On Friday, 15th November, a public lecture x-raying the powers of the local government against the backdrop of Supreme Court judgment affirming the autonomy of the third tier of government will hold. In other news now, we are also tracking some developments as regards the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, describing the deployment of the new electronic border security facilities at the Nigeria Immigration Service as the beginning of new dawn. He said these are the induction of the newly trained operational officers of the E-Border Security Command as well as Control Center held at the Immigration Service headquarters in Abuja. According to the minister, the facilities are integrated to Interpol 247, Media Solution, and all criminal record database systems in the world.
I want Nigerian Immigration Service that will be in charge of border governance, border control, border administration, and border management across terrestrial borders, across the maritime borders, across even the air borders. So there is a lot of work for you to do, bringing to me. And of course, the Federal Fire Service is very critical. It is beyond the fire service all over the world, fire and rescue. There's a lot of things to be done. And of course, NSCDC, as I said, your critical national asset is very key.
We have updates now from the House of Representatives talking about issues with women involvement in political development in Nigeria. We have details of that story and we'll return with business news.
A dialogue on women and constitution amendments in Nigeria, hosted by the House Committee on Constitution Review, draws participants from across the globe. Discussions here revolve around 5 key gender bills, including the one seeking seat reservation for women in the national and state houses of assembly.
It is important that we are able to harness the very important resource that women bring into governance.
The statistics today are shocking. In the Senate, only 4 of the 109 seats are occupied by women, 16 in the House of Representatives out of 360 members, and 55 across state houses of assembly with 990 members. Across the continent, Nigeria has not fared any better, ranking 179th with 3.9% of women in parliament. As the sixth alteration to the Constitution gets underway, the House seeks inputs from all critical actors to avert a repeat of the rejection of these all-important bills.
Investing in women's leadership, particularly within the political sphere, thus carries measurable and far-reaching benefits.
Our goal is to ensure that Nigerian women, an essential part of our nation's social and economic fabric, secure their rightful place within our governance framework.
The Parliament seeks to do things differently this time to achieve results, and it is seeking the contributions of leading women across industries, including the media.
And given the experience in 2022, where 5 of those bills failed to pass, this is a good commitment from the leadership of the National Assembly, and them saying that, look, we want this passed, we want more representation of women in the legislative quarters, and you know, the statistics already says it all.
High point of the event is the signing to a commitment to work together and ensure the passage of the gender bills. If passed into law, 37 states will be occupied exclusively by women in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, just as the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will have 3 additional slots to the number of seats they currently have. Joke Yadisa, TVC News, Abuja.